Yes, Mr. President, have Putin and Zelensky agreed to a summit yet? And where and when would that be?
Well, there's a very good prospect that they will. And we haven't determined where, but we had some very good talks with President Putin today. And there's a very good chance that we could be ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
How close do you think you are to a deal?
Excuse me?
How close do you think you are to some kind of deal?
Well, I don't want to say. I've been disappointed before with this one.
What was the breakthrough today? Did Vladimir Putin make some kind of concession that he hasn't been willing to make before?
I don't call it a breakthrough. I mean, we've been working on this a long time. There are thousands of young people dying, mostly soldiers, but also, missiles being hit into Kiev and other places. But in terms of soldiers, I think Russia's lost over 20,000 since the beginning of the year. 20,000. And I guess the estimate for Ukraine is about 9,000. It's a terrible situation. We want to get it stopped.
We have been listening in, as you've heard the president talking about a number of topics, including, importantly here, the potential for a summit, as it was put, between the United States, between Russia, between Ukraine, in work to try to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. At this point, it doesn't sound like anything has been set, but you heard the president take a rather optimistic tone on that. I want to get to Monica Alba, our White House correspondent, who's been listening in. And Monica, we're going to have our team continue to listen in case he gets any more questions. You didn't get anything on the Jeffrey Epstein case just yet, which I know has been a target of reporting for many outlets throughout the course of the day. But he did talk fairly extensively about these conversations that one of his top envoys had with Vladimir Putin. And it sounded like maybe cautious optimism that something could come together on that, optimism that hasn't necessarily been reflected by his own Secretary of State just in the last couple hours.
Right. Secretary of State Rubio said, well, there's a lot that has to happen before we can talk about a potential meeting between President Trump and President Putin and potentially President Zelensky. But just now, President Trump said, quote, there was a good prospect that this could coalesce. Now, the question is when, how, and where. And those aren't insignificant details when you're talking about a major world summit with these specific leaders. And it sounds like President Putin was pretty open to meeting President Trump in person, and so is President Trump. But President Trump tried to relay the message that he was good with that if President Putin was also willing to meet with President Zelensky to discuss a potential ceasefire for the war in Ukraine. And simply that may be too high a bar to clear here. So that may be the impediment. It's unclear whether President Putin will agree to that and how long it might take to get him to yes on that. And the president kind of indicated that by saying he's been disappointed on this before, saying that maybe when there were prospects of other kinds of meetings or where there could be some peace talks or trying to get Russia and Ukraine to the table at the same time, only to see that fall apart. So the president is reserving the space for this to crumble, but he's trying to indicate that he would like to see it happen. He did say they were still evaluating potential locations. We know that Turkey has been mentioned as a potential venue, with President Erdogan offering to broker those talks. We also know the Vatican and Pope Leo has offered to potentially be the venue or host for those kinds of discussions as well. So is it also a matter of the logistics that would be involved? As you know very well, Hallie, that may be an issue here, too.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.